Alright boys, we are back, and we're up here at the preseason of year number 10, the final season for GM Superb Man here in Arizona. So I want to make it a good year. We're successful with 2 Stanley Cups in 3 years, we have a President's Trophy in there, but we can solidify ourselves as a modern day dynasty if we win 3 Stanley Cups in 4 years, alright? That's the definition of a dynasty. So I want to have a great year 10. I don't think we're going to get any simulating done in this video because, again, I want to do the whole NHL review of all the we might get a month done. It depends on how long we go through this. But I actually do have a major trade that I want to try out in this video as well, right? Just like last year when we picked up Darcy Jones in preseason to bolster our year, we have a lot of assets that are turning 23, 24 years old. Our young defensemen, DeVree, Rupert, Gordon, we still have Keith Yandel who didn't retire, right? So we have to figure out places for these guys. There's no point in holding on to these players. They're ready to play in the NHL. So I thought, why not move them to make our team better? Not get draft picks, make our team better. We have plenty of younger players. We don't need draft picks anymore, okay? So before we get to any of that, let's just go through some of the comments. First comment, I say send Keith to the minors, and we all just forget that he didn't retire. Oh my God. So the fans in Arizona already forgetting what Captain Keith has brought them in the last 3 years, last 10 years for God's sakes. All right, he's led your team to the playoffs 9 years in a row. And now you guys just want him to get the hell out of here just because he's 76 overall? Captain Keith doesn't want to retire. He doesn't have to retire, baby. He can come back and play as much as he wants. I'm not going to treat him like Alfredson. I'm not going to treat him like Matt Sundin. I'm not going to treat him like Martin Brodeur. He's going to play, baby. Absolutely. All right, so screw that comment. Next, now that Kopitar's dropped to 82, you should put Strome on your second line center for 5-on-5 and power play. He can still improve, and just going up 1 or 2 overall would make him perfect for that second line. Just make a straight up switch with Strome and Kopitar. Also trade some of your young defensemen away. I'm going to do that. You're wasting them down there in the AHL. Maybe get some picks or prospect forwards. Also, Lou Moore should go on the first line with Petrie and Barzell. All right, so first we'll just entertain that comment about Kopitar for Dylan Strome. All right, so again, you guys, I think, are reading a little bit too much into that overall number right there. The reason Kopitar is on this second line, even though he's 82 overall, he still has a passing of 87. He still has an offensive awareness of 88. His poise is still 90. All right, his defensive awareness is at 84. He's still a good little player. Now look at Dylan Strome's passing and offensive awareness. His passing is at 81. His offensive awareness is at 83. His defensive awareness is at 82. This guy's not ready to be on the second line, man. I know he's got the overall is better than Kopitar, but I still trust Kopitar to help Yakupov get some goals, all right? So I'm not touching it. My third line is my third line. My second line, my second line. Unless things don't go our way, then I make a change, right? But you got to look at the individual stats, not the overall number, okay? And the last comment, I want to see you do either Carolina, Philly, or the Leafs. It's been a couple games since you've done them. So he's talking about the next GM mode already. Well, we're not going to get into the next GM mode. Don't worry, I'm not going to surprise you guys. At the end of year 10, we're going to do a whole I'll make like a video where we talk about which GM we're going to do. We'll have a whole voting system. Our website's almost up, so we'll get a voting system done. We'll pick a whole GM, new GM mode after this GM mode is done, all right? So don't worry about it. I won't screw you guys over. I won't surprise you guys. We will have a voting for the next GM mode when that time comes, all right? And the rest of the comment, and make sure to check the top 5 picks. Islanders, Rangers, Winnipeg, Calgary, Vancouver. All right, so I'll do that right now. Forgot to take a look at the top picks last year, or the last video in last year's draft. So let's take a look at them right now. Contracts. So first, the New York Islanders. They got the first overall pick. Let's take a look at this. Islanders. There you go. All right, so do they get a goalie or do they get a forward? Is this guy, was he Ethan Arno? Is he drafted? Yeah, Ethan Arno, yeah, the draft year is 2023, so that's about right. First overall, so a center sniper, 71 overall, not too shabby. This guy looks like he's got a bright future. The New York Rangers went number 2. Let's see what they got. Kip was probably Bonino, Jamie Bonino, 2023 second overall. Yep, playmaker, center playmaker, 74 overall, pretty good. The Winnipeg Jets went number 3. Let's take a look at their, what's it called? Was it a, no, it wouldn't be those guys. Maybe it's a goalie. Maybe they drafted a goalie 3rd overall. Really? Main roster, in the system. Yeah, this guy, Gunderson, Paul Gunderson, two-way forward. Yeah, third overall. Ooh, he's 79 overall coming into the NHL. Yeah, his strength is up at 84. He's already a fast skater. His defensive awareness is at 83. This guy looks like a pretty good player, man, already. Paul Gunderson. And Calgary and Vancouver. All right, so hang on. Let me just go Calgary. There you go. Howard Walter, center grinder. Ooh, man, if only I could have got him for Lou Morris. Line mates of the future. That would be beast. How big is this guy? 6'1", 184, right-handed. Not too shabby. Howard Walter and Lou Morris. Got to watch out for the Calgary Flames now. And the Vancouver Canucks, last but not least. Vancouver Canucks. Let's see this. Vancouver. McDonald is probably this Campagna. Two-way defenseman. No, he was drafted in 2022. That was not their pick. It's probably not Luke McDonald. He was probably drafted in 2021. So they've had like 3 years in a row of getting a good draft pick in the system, main roster. Rene Backus. Man, they got a bunch of these. They must have had like 5 years in a row. Must be a goalie that they got in the system. Yeah, there it is right there. And they have like, Jesus, they must have picked so many players in like the last 5 years. These guys are going to turn out to be good eventually. Calvin Carter, goaltender, 5th overall, all right? So there you go. There are the draft picks. Thank you for pointing that out for me. Now we'll go through the fan arts. There's not too much this time. First up, 75 overall. One more year, baby. Keith Yandel. He's getting old. You can see those gray hairs, but he's still here, man. Sports Illustrated magazine. This is my final season in Arizona. I didn't know GM Superbman was General Zod. That's General Zod's face. Who will get GM Superbman? Red Wings new owner Tyler Howard guarantees GM Superbman to be the Wings' next GM. Oh, maybe. We got to have that vote. I don't always lie about retiring, but when I do it twice. Keith Yandel. I remember the last time we had that. That's pretty funny. When I do it twice. And last but not least, oh man, look at that. After a Conn Smythe, his second Conn Smythe, and a Vezina Trophy winning season, Brendan Hope, a 98 overall Hockey Ultimate Team card. Holy shit, that looks beastly. Trade that to me for my Hockey Ultimate Team. I want a good card like that. All right, so thank you for the fan arts. There are the honorable mentions in the background. Thank you for those as well. Keep them coming because we only have a few more videos here in Arizona. All right, so hang on one second. So we're going to go through every team's roster, but I have a trade that I want to do first, all right? So when I'm looking at our team, let me just get you guys into my thought process here. When you look at our team, I'm leaving the next GM with a crop of mid 20-year-old players who are, NHL ready with NHL experience. So Matthew Barzal, he'll be 27 next year, right, when he's starting the NHL season. That GM doesn't have to worry about trading him for like 4 or 5 years, even if he wants to trade him, right? 31, 32 years old. You don't have to worry about him. So that's what I mean. These guys, I'm leaving the team in a good spot. So when I'm thinking about this trade, I wanted to bring in another 25, 26-year-old player so that the next GM could just ride this team out for a few years, because the guys like Anze Kopitar, Keith Yandel, Nail Yakupov, they're getting older, right? But to have a young core of younger players that can still get you to the playoffs, that's what I want to leave here. So like Lou Morris, McMillan, Barzal, Petrie. Yakupov's a little bit older now, so he doesn't fall into that same category. Pierlini, Horvat, Strome, all right, all these guys. Darcy Jones, Barry, and Ekman Larson are kind of in the same category as Nail Yakupov, a little bit older, all right, and then Victor Gordon. But that's where I want to make that trade, because when you look at our forward forward crop of mid-20-year-old players, we have like 3 or 4 of them. Defensemen, only one, and it's Darcy Jones. Gordon, he is in that same category, but I don't know if he's going to cap off at a top 6. Same thing with Jesse Mills, right? And top 6 defensemen, they're tradable. So I want to hold on to Barry. I want to hold on to Ekman Larson. Darcy Jones I want to hold on to. I want to play Keith Yandel, which leaves only 2 roster spots. And I don't think Zadorov is going to fit in, because I want to give this guy, Victor Gordon, a chance to play, because he's got an offensive awareness of 89. Defensive awareness of 84, passing at 85. He's got a hard shot. This guy could be something special back there on the bottom 6, right? So I want to play him, and it looks like Zadorov is the guy that has got to be moved out. He's the same age as Nail Yakupov, but I want to play the younger guys instead. And Jesse Mills is another guy that I think I'm going to trade away, because he's 25 years old. He's a defensive defenseman, but I think Victor Gordon has taken over Jesse Mills' spot. He's a better defensive defenseman. You know what I mean? He's younger. He's better. Jesse Mills didn't turn out to what we wanted him to be. All right, so this is what I had in mind. I've already pre-scouted the trade for you guys, so I've already tried to figure out if it's realistic or not. I think it is. All right, so we're going to go to the Eastern Conference, so we don't have to worry about anything. The Florida Panthers, and we're going to pick up their defenseman, Nicholas Malak, the guy that we didn't draft in year number 1. We decided to go after Ryan Pilon. Should have gone after Malak. Now, I'm going to I'm going to convince you guys why they would want to give him up. So he's 26 years old, 88 overall, right? First thing, they drafted him 10th overall in 2015, so it's been a while now, all right? Last, 3 years, 40-point season, 51, 38. He's been a plus player. Those are very good stats right there, right? But when it comes to the playoffs, there you go. They haven't had a single season past the second round in like the last 4 years. Last year, they didn't make the playoffs, right? So I could kind of see them looking to shake things up a bit. Now, this is still a big player that they want to give up, but they still have Aaron Ekblad, who's 27 years old, who's better. They have Olsen, who's 87, 32. Henley, 87, 26. Kulikov, 85. Nicholas, 85. Petrovic, 84. All right, they still have plenty of these defensemen that they can move away. They still have 6, even if I trade them away. And I'm going to be giving them back Nikita Zadorov, right? So I understand that he is a very good defenseman, but you know what? They haven't made the playoffs, and now I will show you what I'm going to try to give back. So Nicholas Malak, I want to get him. Again, he is 26 years old, so he falls into that category with Darcy Jones and Barzell and Lou Morris and the Big Mac and Petrie, all right? So that's your core of the future. Malak can play alongside of Darcy Jones. He's right-handed. Darcy Jones is left-handed. But you'd have to give up a lot for Nicholas Malak, all right? So I really wanted to overextend for this trade so that you guys wouldn't say it's a cheap trade. So Zadorov would have to go, right? Nikita Zadorov. So they get another good defenseman for their defenseman coming out. Rupert's, here's the guy I'm going to leave down in the minors for one more year because he's 80 overall, all right? I could trade him, but 23 years old is not that bad to be playing in the AHL, and I want to see what one more year can do for him. His offensive awareness is only 81, passing is only 81. The only categories I like are the defense and physical, kind of, all right? That's why I like Victor Gordon a lot better. They're both defensive defensemen, but Victor Gordon's individual stats are slightly better. So I thought one more year in the AHL for Rupert. Jesse Mills would have to be traded. He's 25 years old. I'm not going to send him down to the minors, all right? So Jesse Mills would have to be traded. DeVries would have to be traded. I didn't like DeVries' individual stats. He's not bad offensively, don't get me wrong, but his defensive awareness only at 80. I'm not even gonna chance that, all right? So this guy was drafted in the first round in 2018. Hasn't played in the NHL yet. So they got Zadorov, Mills, DeVries, and hang on, and yeah, I'm gonna do this as well. First round pick for this year because I consider ourselves a good team. All right, and we're really overextending for this one. So I wanted to give up this Bulikov guy. He's 80 overall, 22 years old, 1 year left. The reason I want to give this guy up is because I still have Stroshin, they're both two-way forwards, all right? They're both two-way forwards. Stroshin has a 4-star potential, and he's 1 year younger, all right? So I'll just show you. There's Bulikov. This guy could be a decent 4th or 3rd liner for me in the future, but I really wanted to make sure that this trade goes through, all right? There's Ray Stroshin. I'm going to hold on to that guy. But there you go, Bulikov, all right? So I'm giving up a lot to get this guy, but he's a 26-year-old defenseman that, again, can be a part of your young core for like the next 6 years. You don't have to worry about it. And this, we're giving up a bunch of defensemen that we weren't going to use anyways. The first-round pick's a little bit steep, but I want to make sure that this trade goes through and it's fair for the Florida Panthers, all right? So Zadorov, Mills, DeVries, a first, and Bulikov for Nicholas Malak. Will it go through? Yes, it does. Yes, it does. There's not too much to deliberate about on this deal. I think the Florida fans will think we came out ahead here, all right? So you guys let me know if you thought that trade was equal or not. I know it's a lot to get from Florida. I know I gave up a lot, but now look at our core. This is going to be sweet. Watch this. Defenseman. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Captain Keith, get your ass back up here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keith Yandel. Oh, my God. All right, and then McMillan. Yeah, then our 4th line is going to stay the same now. All right, so do I do best lines? Might as well just go best lines, yeah. All right, so let me do the line changes, and I'll show you guys right after. Hang on. All right, so I went ahead and I did all the line changes. I also simulated up to the beginning of the regular season, so now we're going to go through all the other teams as well. All right, so here's our team. Barzell, Petrie, McMillan, Lou Morris, Kopitar, Nail Yakupov, Pierlini, Horvat, Dylan Strome, McMillan, yeah, not Macmillan, yeah, McMillan, Smith, and Anderson. Defensively, Darcy Jones, Nicholas Malak, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Tyson Berry, Victor Gordon, and Keith Yandel. All right, so look at that top 4 now, boys. And we don't have to worry about the future because Darcy Jones, Malak, 25, 26 years old. All right, same thing with offense. 23, 25, 24, right? So you got 5 players, not including Lou Morris, that you can have as your core for the next, like, 10, not 10 years, but like 6 years for sure. Power play, Petrie, Barzell, McMillan, Yakupov, Kopitar, Lou Morris, basically the exact same as the 5-on-5 lines. Power play, same thing. Penalty kill, Horvat, Lou Morris, Jones, Malak, Zach Smith, Pierlini, Gordon, and Barry. All right, so I got Gordon in there instead of Ekman Larson because the offensive defenseman. And Keith Yandel is on no line other than the 5-on-5 top 6. He's not on the power play anymore just because all the other 4 defensemen are actually better than he is in the offensive categories. He's really dropped, right? So we're going to just let Keith Yandel be down there, 75 overall. We also have to jersey numbers, make sure that he stays the captain because he's probably not. Yeah, the game is saying Lucas Petrie is the captain. Get the hell out of here. It's Keith Yandel, baby. All right, Keith Yandel, Kopitar, and you know what? Darcy Jones. Yeah, Darcy Jones is leading our... Actually, no. It can't be Darcy Jones. Yeah, it's got to be Ekman Larson. Yeah, Ekman Larson. The fans were calling for it. Oliver Ekman Larson is the first alternate. Keith Yandel's the captain, and Kopitar is the second alternate, all right? Future captains can be... the next GM can worry about the future captains. When I'm the general manager of the Arizona Coyotes, it's Captain Keith Yandel. So let's take a look at the other teams in the NHL. The reason I simulate ahead is now they have their real rosters out there, all right? So there is, we'll do offense, and then we'll do defense, and then we'll go goaltending back when we come back around, all right? So Boston actually looks a little bit weak. They don't have a bad defensive core. Buffalo, McCabe, 92. Holy shit. You know what? Actually, hang on one second, boys. Got to blow my nose. You know what? I actually have a better way to do this because it sucks that you have to flip between offense and defense. I think if I go to contracts, it'll show you because all the players playing now are going to be on the main roster. Yeah, like there's the main roster. And if I go overall, yeah, it'll show you the first 7 players? Yeah, that's enough. So let's just go through this. See? So Boston, yeah, they got a few 89s in there. Kind of drops off a little bit. Buffalo... yeah, they're a little bit strong. McCabe, Myers, Gergensen, Sam Reinhart, all 88 or better. Calgary, they're a little bit weak after Tyler Benson. Some 86s in there. Carolina, 2 88s. Jeff Skinner, Elias Lindholm. Chicago, Jonathan Toews is still there. Patrick Kane's dropping off a little bit. Yeah, they're starting to get a little bit old there in Chicago. Colorado, holy crap. Nate McKinnon, 94. Duchesne, 91. They definitely still have a good team. Columbus, Bjorkstrand, 91. Let's see if these guys can make the playoffs this year after not making it after they beat us, man. If only we could have won those 3 Stanley Cups in a row, that'd be epic. Dallas, Sagan, Ben, they're still up there. Yeah, Alexiak, Eakin, Nikushkin, they got a good team, it looks like. Detroit, Fitzgerald, I almost traded for him last year. Didn't get him, though. 92 overall, looks pretty good. Edmonton, the Nuge, Taylor Hall, Jordan Eberle, they still have them there. They're still great players. Florida, Ekblad, Barkov, Henley. All right, Zadorov, there's Zadorov, so he's cracked their top 7. So again, you guys let me know if that was a good trade or not. Los Angeles, Doughty, and then it drops off a lot. Minnesota, Conacher, Granlund, and drops off a little bit after that. Montreal, PK Subban, Galchenyuk, Tenorti, Pacioretty's dropping a little bit. They still have a good team, it looks like. Nashville, hang on, I got to make sure I keep it on this. Gabriel Bork, Ryan Ellis, Philip Forsberg, Seth Jones, bunch of 87s. That's not bad. 2 defensemen, 2 wingers. McDavid, Jelena, Gauthier, Brain, Merrill. There he is. There's Travis Little for New Jersey. I wonder what kind of statistical season he's going to have this year. The Islanders, all right, they still have Johnny T. He's getting a little bit older now as well. The Rangers, they got a little bit of a weak team. It looks like Richard Panik is their best player. Eric Carlson, Brian Holland. Yeah, that's a good little player. 2-way forward. 4.5 stars. Yeah, they're a little bit weak, though. Philadelphia, holy shit. Dan McKenzie, 97 overall. I might as well go in here and look at it for you guys. I know you're going to want to see it. What did he do last year? He's definitely not a goal scorer. He's an assist man, all right? And, yeah, he got to the playoffs last year. Didn't get to, oh, no, not last year. It was, 4 years ago. What am I talking about? All right, so Dan McKenzie. They could use a little bit more on Philadelphia as well. Pittsburgh, all right, looks like, it looks like Malkin and Crosby might have retired or really dropped off. Who knows? Jesus. Pilon is still there, though. San Jose, hang on a sec. There you go. Logan Couture, Hurdle. Yeah, they've really dropped off. St. Louis, Pietrangelo, they've dropped off, though, big time. Tampa Bay, they got a really good team. Yeah, Tampa Bay's got a good team. Stamkos, Drouin, Kucherov, Palat, Hedman, all above 88. Some 90s in there as well. Toronto, nah, they're dropping off a little bit. Vancouver, they do not have a good team. But they've drafted a lot of good prospects in the last few years, so I'd imagine they're going to get better. Washington, they've dropped off a little bit. Winnipeg, they got a good team. Scheifele, Kane, and Patton. 3 players above 88 overall, not bad. And Anaheim, they've dropped off a little bit, all right? So there are the skaters. Now we can just run through the goalies. Gibson, 92. All right, Hope, 87. Subban, 84. Polovica, Buffalo, you're welcome for me trading him back. Pominville, 86. They still have these 2 goaltenders. They haven't. Look how much money they're spending on these 2 goalies. They both just signed them long term. You stupid game. Trade one of them. Claxon, 86. Marchand, 93. My God, what a beast. Bobrovsky, 89. Campbell, 84. See what I mean? What's his name? Oh, man, that's a bad... Oh, man, how does... if Edmonton wins the Presidents again with this damn goaltending duel, my God. They shouldn't be making the playoffs, let alone winning the President's Trophy. See what I mean about Brendan Hope being 87 overall? It's pretty good, man. It's up there with the NHL. Again, it's the individual stats, right? But overall-wise, when you're just kind of comparing, there's a lot of teams with 86 or lower. Look at all this shit. Yep, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, San Jose. You'd think that Carolina would be able to get so much back for like a Taz Berman or a Jake Smith. With all these teams having, like, you guys as well, trade one of these guys. Holy crap. All these teams with 2 goaltenders and all these other teams with no goaltenders, all right? So there you go. There is the summary for the NHL. Yeah, you know what? Let's go 1 month. Hang on. All right, so I've already taken care of everything, so let's just go 1 month of simulating. I will not go past 1 month, but the next video, we can take it all the way up to the trade deadline. Let's see how our team plays. Maybe you guys can comment with a line change or maybe even a trade. I'd make another trade as well. I want to see if Captain Keith Yandel is hurting our chances this year. What did we start off last year? It was like 24-2-2 or something like that. Like we were at a ridiculous, or 3-3. We had a ridiculous start to the year last year, and it pretty much took us all the way to the playoffs because at the end of that streak, we were like 24-25-3 or something like that, right? So we really did not have the greatest end to the season last year. So I'm hoping we have another good start. But I think Nicholas Malak is going to make our team even better. Kopitar being a little bit low could drag us down slightly, but I think our first line is good enough to take the offense over. Lou Morris is even better defensively than he was last year, so the second line might just turn into a defensive second line, right? But there you go. Yeah, 3-0-1. Again, it's early, and Brendan Hope is actually an 87. We had Brendan Hope as an 86 for so long, but he won the Vezina last year, and he won the Conn Smythe. So Brendan Hope is slightly better, right? Darcy Jones might be slightly better. Captain Keith Yandel is not that good, but you know what? It's all good. I feel like this team, got to run with it, man. These players have earned the chance to play together, to defend their Stanley Cup championship, and to become a dynasty, all right? So that's what I'm going to do. Captain Keith Yandel, our team would probably be much better if you would fucking retire. But whatever, the guy wants to lead the team to his 3rd Stanley Cup in 4 years. That's his prerogative, all right? Now, how can you say he's not leading the team right? We're 5-1-1 to start the season. Ha yeah. All right, so let's just I'm not going to go farther than 1 month. This video's already been pretty long. I'll save it for the next video. All right, 5-2-2. If we lose one, then it's just a regular start. 5-3-1. Let's see. 5-3-1. There you go. Okay, so 6-2-1. We're going to leave it right there. All right, let's take a look at some of the individual stats. We're not going to look at the team standings. It's not going to matter at this point in the season. They're going to be all over the place. But let's just see who plus players, minus players, who's getting the points, who's not getting the points. And then maybe you guys can come up with a line change or two. Come on now, load the stats. There you go. All right, so forwards, let's see. Anze Kopitar. See, I don't want to move him off the second line, even though his overall technically is lower than Dylan Strome. He's got 7 points in 9 games played. Pierlini, 5 points. Holy shit, 4 goals for Pierlini. What the hell? How many shorties has this guy got? None? They've been 5-on-5 goals? Holy crap, Pierlini, good job. Petrie, 5 points. Barzell, 5 points. Yakupov, 5 points. Lou Morris, 4 points. Anderson, 4 points. Horvat, 4. All right, so everyone's chipping in. Ooh, look at that. The Big Mac, only 2 points. Dylan Strome, 2 goals. All right, plus. We're all plus players. Good. Defenseman, let's see this. Nicholas Malak would have picked up 9 points. Very good, very good. Gordon, 4 points. Barry, 4 points. Ekman Larson, 3. Yandel, 2 points. Darcy Jones, 2 points. They're all plus players. And Brendan Hope, There you go. And that's why I got that better backup now. Maybe he can help us out with a few more wins compared to last year's goaltender. But 2.43 goals against, 5-2-1, and a save percentage of 91.53. All right, so we're going to leave it right there, boys. Any line changes, trades, roster moves, let me know. The next video, no matter what, we're going to take it all the way up to the trade deadline. All right, in the video after that, we'll take it up to the playoffs, and then we'll have well, hopefully we make the playoffs, and then we'll have our final run. All right, so let me know what you guys think about the trade, about our roster, and I'll see you guys in the next one.